Hello friends, Heather here, and I am excited to share with you my newest digital collage sheet sets. They're going to enable you to make your own Christmas countdown or advent calendar tags or pillow boxes. So I just want to show you really quick. This is the fancy tag base, of course, with my embellishments and focal pieces. So you get in one of the sets, it's the tag basic shapes, and you get the fancy tag, front and back, just the basic tag with the digital paper that is already pre-shaped. There's also the more traditional style tag. You'll notice it's a little bit larger in size, so you can fit some really nice goodies on there, and it would look great if you did both the shapes altering and did it as like a banner. That would be really pretty. Or you can use the pillow shape box, which I have included as well, and it has got little dotted lines on it, so you will know where to score, and then solid lines, so you will know where to cut. So that is one sheet. The one sheet just has the basics, so the two different tag shapes and the pillow box, and it also has these little round dots, which, let's see if I can find one. Here we go. And those you can just use as enforcers, hole enforcers, like on your tag. So if you look here, I have one on the back. So your tags, there's plenty of those for your tags. Okay, the next sheet will be the focals. And there's actually 4 sheets or 5 sheets of focals. So there's 12 different designs, and what I have done is I have flipped them. So you'll have like this little cute boy image going one way and then facing the other. And once you put your piece here, your pillow box together, it'll fit on there nicely. And I do have a pillow box. It's not the same paper exactly. It's just a plain one that I've already put together as a template. But just so you can see how nice that will look. And then you can just open up the bottom and fill it with your goodies and stick it on the tree. And you can decide whether you want to like glue your sides down or just put a pretty piece of ribbon and a bow. I will be doing a tutorial on it soon, so you will see that, just how to put that together. Or you can use the focals on like the fat tag here, I call it. So it's a really nice size tag for my focal backgrounds here, or the focal pieces. Now I also want to show you that I use my Make the Cut program and my Black Cat Cougar to cut out my pieces. And so this is kind of like what one of the sheets look like in the focal set, and it'll have the numbers 1 through 25. And even if you don't have a digital cutter, these numbers are going to be pretty easy to cut out because I have got like a background behind them, so you're not having to do too much detail work or fussy cutting. All right, each of the focal sheets will come with Merry Christmas and Season's Greetings, and then like Peace, Noel, and Joy, little text boxes. So you can use those on each of the tags, or you can use them on the pillow box. And even if you don't want to get the tag basics, you could just use the focals in your card making, and it would just be really pretty. Okay, so back to this original tag here that I have designed. Anybody who purchases my Advent, the 2 sheets during the Thanksgiving Day weekend, will get a sheet of just the free plain candy canes. And they work really nicely. They're perfectly sized, of course, and you can just stick them in behind your focal pieces. And I've got like a bunch of pop dots in there, so I have to actually look at what I'm doing here. So let me take this away so I can figure it out. There we go. So let me tell you really quick what I have used on this tag. I had the number 20, which comes from the focal page, as well as the Santa Claus image, the little Joy text box, and my Merry and Christmas text boxes. Let me see if I can zoom in here just a little bit and focus it. My I don't have my autofocus on anymore. So it just was making the camera jump all around whenever I would upload to YouTube. So I'm just sticking with the normal video taking without the autofocus. All right, so on this piece here, I have used my new Bow It All tool and the red lipstick seam binding from Really Reasonable Ribbon. It is like my favorite color. It's a darker red. The red diagonal trim, actually all my trims and my mulberry flowers have come from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I used the peppermint baker's twine, the moss green leaves, deep ivory mulberry roses, Juliet lace tucked here underneath my little tiny, I just made this cute little clip-on piece, and it's just a little tiny clothespin, and I glued my text box and my rose and the Juliet lace on there, and I just stick it back on my piece. The button is from the Vintage Button Collection from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I have used a another natural lace, which you can see it's a larger size here, and I believe it's called Edna. And then I've got this double satin ribbon that's striped, and the polka dot ribbon as well, and that's a grosgrain. I also used a 20 millimeter red mulberry rose. So this one is a 15 millimeter of the deep ivory. All right, I used my favorite glitters from Art Glitter and my Art Institute Designer Dries Clear Glue, which looks like this. I'm using my fine tip applicator, which I just have something in here right now so it doesn't get clogged, to do all of my work around the edges here. So your detail work, it's really important to have this nice tip. And I'm going to take a break real quick because my pecan pies are done. So I am in the middle of cooking pies for Thanksgiving tomorrow. So I'll be right back. Okay, I have my pecan pies out of the oven and I'm ready to get back to explaining this tag. All right, I did use Art Glitter Glitters and I used number 349 Garnet on all the red areas. So my text boxes, these little dots on the red scallop, on the candy cane, around my enforcer here at the top, which is kind of hard to see, my holly berries, that is all the garnet. I used number 208 Fauna on the candy cane on the white areas. Number 160 Rose Gold was used around the outside edge of my tag and the outside edge of the numbers. I used number 79 Black for the number itself. Number 196 Lion's Mane was used for these little dots here on the circle, on the ivory color circle. And then I have number 295 Ensalada, which is the green color that I used on my holly leaves. Okay, I guess that pretty much describes my tag. So I thought I would go ahead and just get started with doing the tutorial now. So if you want to get your things together, I'll start with doing showing you how to do the pillow box. And what you'll want to have is an embossing tool, and I just have one from when I did my toll painting. And actually, if you have a kind of like a wider end, that's good because you don't want to tear your paper. So like a bigger end is better to have instead of a small pointy one. And then you'll want a piece of like craft foam, and I am just using an embossing mat that came with my Black Cat Cougar. And if I didn't mention it before, I do use Make the Cut software to upload my projects to, and I use the print and cut feature, and then use my Black Cat Cougar to cut out my pieces. And I can do a tutorial on how to use collage sheets and with the Make the Cut program if you would like to see one. Okay, so let me just get this out of the way. Get all my numbers out of the way, and I'm just gonna stick them somewhere, hopefully where they won't get lost. Should find a baggie, and go ahead and grab your embossing tool, or you can pause the camera and go get one. Either way. Actually, you don't need to pause the camera because I'm the one with the camera. You can pause the video. Okay. I have the pillow box now. Let me click out here. There we go. All right, and you'll see that I have got these little dashed lines, and that is where we're going to emboss. So you just take your embossing tool and kind of go back and forth a couple times on your piece. And if you have a digital cutter, you could use the dotted line feature. I just kind of decided not to because I made a couple boxes with the cuts and are the little dashes, and I think it'll, over time, it won't hold up as long. It'll fall apart quicker, where if you just score it, I think it'll last longer. So, and I think these pillow boxes, if you have little kids, they would just love going to the tree and finding the box with this day, you know, like say the 1st of December, and getting to open the box and get a little goodie. So my kids are teenagers now, so they're not quite into it as much as they used to be, but it really does bring a smile to your face to see little ones all happy with goodies. So I'm just turning my piece and doing each of these scores a couple times. So you can just do the same after you've cut out your piece. And then we will ink all the sides with Ranger's Vintage Photo so the dotted lines don't show up so much. All right, so I think I've got them all. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but you can see there I've got a lot of light on because it's like really dark and late, but you can see my embossing on the back side. Okay, so now I also have this little center dot that you can see, a little circle in red, and that's where you'll use your hole punch to punch a hole for your hanging wire. So you just kind of fold in your pieces, and it'll kind of just do it naturally. Just give it a little fold and do the same to all your sides. So kind of crease them a little bit, mush them down, I guess. Do the this one here. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And center ones. It's a little easier to do when I'm not in front of the camera. It's kind of funny how that is. But I just have like this tiny space because I have a little tiny camera. Okay. All right, and then you're going to kind of fold your little pieces together, and you'll want your little pieces here with the holes on the sides here, and then it just goes together pretty simple like this. And then you have your two top pieces, or actually the bottom piece, and you'll see there's a straight line here and a curved one here. So let me show you really quick, get all my stuff out of the way. It's my little messy mat. All right, I'm going to use my craft tool, and I'm going to start to cut. And then it's easier for me to turn my piece than it is to turn the knife because it's a pretty sharp blade. I'm just going to follow this circular cut. Okay, and the digital paper is one that I designed using images from Karen the Graphic Fairy. Her website is thegraphicfairy.com, and she has lots of copyright-free images on her blog, actually her website now, that you can use and alter yourself. And so I used like a music image, a background paper, and of course the holly images. So I've just done a bunch of different things. All right, you're going to go ahead and do a straight line on this one here. And then, you know, just check it so you know it's it went all the way through. And then you'll be able to put your pieces together. And you do have to kind of like fiddle with it a little bit, but you'll get good at it after you've done it a couple times. And then you'll stick your opening here, your little tab in there. And I know this is kind of a, it's a little bit of a pain, but once you've done it like once or twice, then you get a little bit better at it. And sometimes what I do is I just make the hole here just a little bit wider. It just seems to make it a little bit easier to put the tab in. So let's try this again. There we go. So, oops, I kind of smushed it too hard. But there is your pillow box. Okay, and then what you'll do is you can use your Crop-A-Dile to punch a hole in the top, which I'll go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to be using the 1/8 inch hole punch. And I'm just going to stick it in here and find my, I'm just going to center my punch in the hole with a little circle. And so now I have my punch. And then with the pillow box, there's also a couple larger size little circles, which I'm just not sure where I put mine at the moment. But you can use them as an enforcer as well. So you can put one on the top and you can put one on the inside. And then that way, you know, when your kiddos are grabbing the boxes off the tree, there's going to be a little bit of enforcement around that paper. All right, let's go on now to the tags and how I put the tags together. And I pretty much, they would be done the same way. You'll have your front and your back piece. You're going to take your Art Glitter Designer Dries Clear Glue. As soon as I know where I put it. Maybe it's over here. It is. Okay. And then I just pretty easily, let's just scooch this up. Actually move my camera this way a little bit. I'm going to use my Art Glitter Designer Dries Clear Glue, and I'm going to put some glue toward the edge of my card. And I love this glue because it when you use it, everything stays together with this glue, so you don't have to worry about anything falling apart. I've used this for a lot of years, even before I was on the design team for Art Glitter. So I will tell you, it's like my favorite glue. So when I got on the design team, that's what I was all about, buying a bunch of this glue. Okay. And then we're going to take our other piece and we're just going to set it on top and kind of match up our edges. So I didn't do a really good job here, so let me see if I can do this again. Okay, and then you're going to want to give it a little mush so that your pieces will stay together. I kind of didn't do that all that great there, but let's say you don't do such a great job, then it's easy to fix. You can just take your pair of scissors and trim down the sides, or you can use your craft knife and a ruler and go down the sides. So I am just going to, since it's easier for me at the moment, I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and just cut that little extra little strip off, since I didn't quite get it straight. That's what happens sometimes when I'm on camera. So, all right. Next, we'll want to ink our edges with Ranger's Vintage Photo. So if you want to get your distress ink, pause the tape and then get that and come back, we can do that. So I will do the front and the back of the tag, just pretty much how I am doing it here. And if you want, another good thing you can do is you can distress your edges with the craft knife. That adds more texture, and that will also eliminate your little white space if you're not like perfect at cutting and you don't have a digital cutter. Then that'll work great. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up doing one side so you can see what that is like. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing with all of your focal pieces. So you'll just get your foam applicator and your ink, and you're just going to go around all your edges. Inking really makes your pieces stand out and gives them that great old vintage feel. So, and we will be glittering too, so even if you do have a little white showing, it's not a big deal because you're just going to cover it up with glue and put glitter on it anyway. So there you go. So you kind of know what that looks like. You'll do the same thing with your numbers, which let me see if I can find a number here that I can use. I kind of accidentally goofed up on my 24 here when I was cutting, but there we go. It's pretty easy and quick doing the distressing. So there's that. And then you're going to do the same thing with your box. So you can fold it, you know, kind of hold it, and then go on one side, and then hold it the other way, and then come back with your ink on the other side. Sometimes you can even just go straight around like that, and it gives it a really nice older look. Okay, so I'll do the same thing here. Kind of hold it, which is kind of hard to do when you're on camera, trying to stay in the area. And you will do that all the way around. And then, you know, you can decide whether or not you want to do these pieces here too. It's all up to you. So why don't you go ahead and ink all of your pieces and have your pieces ready. And then I'm going to go ahead and start embellishing my tag and my box. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and I have decided I'm going to use this beautiful large ribbon, this satin ribbon, and the Edna lace, and I'm also going to use this red with snowflake ribbon. And all my trims come from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and Bonnie will be having a after Thanksgiving sale, so you'll want to check out the Really Reasonable Ribbon blog to get the promo codes there. All right, I wanted to show you when you're like attaching like this kind of beautiful ribbon. I'm going to go to the back first. Oh, and I forgot to ink the back. Silly me. So let me do that. What you're going to want to do is if you're using like a satin, it's better to use like score tape to hold it down. Otherwise, like glue tends to, you can kind of see the glue like where it sticks. So instead of using the art glitter glue to hold down my satin, I am going to use the score tape, which you can also get at Really Reasonable Ribbon, and it's just double-sided tape. So I'm just going to put a piece here and cut off my excess. And you'll just need to burnish it with your fingernail a little bit so it sticks. Okay, and then pull this off. There we go. And then I'm gonna let me eyeball my piece here. Go, there we go. Put that on like this and flip it over to the front, and I'm just gonna give this a trim. And I'm going to go ahead and just use some glue on the front here so you can kind of see what I meant as far as seeing the glue through the ribbon. Oh, and of course, even though I gotta clean out my tip, I'm really, really bad about not cleaning out my tip. So let me do that real quick here. You get a little stainless steel pen that comes with your uh, fine tip, and I'm just really bad about losing it all the time. Actually, I think I'll just go ahead and not use it for a moment. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my ribbon across piece. Okay. And I'm going to be having my focal image here, so it doesn't really matter, but you can see this kind of big wet spot. So you don't want people to be able to see that on your finished piece. So we're going to not use the glue in the part where people can see. And I'm just going to trim this a little bit better. And what I like to do for my edges, just because I have this nice big piece of ribbon here, I thought I would show you is I will fold it in half. And I have the fold here on my right and my two edges to my left, and all I'm going to do is cut a little diagonal, and that makes for pretty ribbon ends. So I'll just leave it like that for now, and I'm going to go ahead and use some more glue. And actually I'm going to kind of take that one away there because I'll probably cover it up with embellishments, but who knows. And I'm going to stick this down here. And I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to add the lace. So I will be back in just a moment.